Hey guys, welcome back to Behind the Scenes Worship, where we give you an inside look at all things worship, with reviews, tutorials, and spiritual insight to take you and your church to the next level. Today we're going to give you an overview of ProPresenter 6 on iMac. Let's jump over to the screen and get right into it. Alright guys, today we are going to take a look at ProPresenter 6 for iMac. And we're going to give you a basic overview of the basic functionality of it. That way, if you have it already, this will be good for your volunteers. You can share this video with them and this will give them an overlook of the basics. If you don't have it and you're possibly looking into getting it because maybe you've heard good things about it, this will not only kind of give you an overlook of it, but help you go ahead and get started. I'm not going to get anything super in depth, but I am going to give you a look at the basics today. So, my goal with this is so that you can just pick it right up and take right off and start your services at your church. That's the whole goal with all of this. Okay? So, if you have PC, I said this is for Mac. If you have PC, I want you guys to know that ProPresenter 6 does work on PC as well. They have a PC version of it, and it looks, for the most part, pretty much the same as this. There may be a couple of things different here and there, but for the most part, what I'm showing you today on Mac, if you're not a Mac person, if you're PC, you'll be able to, you'll be able to use the majority, probably 95%, 98% of what I'm telling you today will be about the same on your PC. So, don't not use this video just because it's Mac. It works as well for PC. It's almost identical to this. So let's go ahead and get into this. When you open up ProPresenter 6 on your computer, it'll pull up this whole window, and this is exactly what it looks like. This is what it's going to pop up and look like. So this right here, this area, is your main, I call it my user window. It's the user interface. This is where you're going to be doing the majority of your work. Just about everything you're doing at all, you're going to do right here on this part. For instance, if you have a song up here, you're going to be able to click through the song slides, blah, 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 blah. If you're in a playlist for like your service, so say you have your whole service built into a playlist, which we'll get into later, you can go through your song, blah, 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 and then you'll be able to scroll down to the next thing, to the next song, to the next slide, to the next scripture, whatever. So this is where you'll be doing, especially your volunteers, this is where you'll be doing the majority of your clicking and things like that. So yes, that's a very good, this is where you'll be very familiar with right here. So next to that, you see we have library. Library is where all of your documents are. It's where all your songs are going to be. It is where all of your PowerPoints are going to be. It's where all of, say you have a document with slides for scriptures and different things like that, they will all be in here. So any document that you're going to use will be in this library window right here. And it will be stored in here. Now, videos and images and things will not be stored in here. They will be in a different place. We will show you that here in just a little bit when we get to it. So, all your documents will be right over here, and it's very visible. If you need to adjust the size of the screen, you can click right there and make it bigger. Typically, I don't do that. Typically, I just keep it as close as I can where I can see it. Plus, if you start making this bigger, it'll take away some of your user interface, user window here. So I try to keep it as small as I possibly can over here. Now, one thing that is awesome about this library is that it is in alphabetical order. So it starts with your numbers and symbols and things, but then it starts into A. And then as you see, as I scroll down, you have B, C, D, and so on and so forth. It's great. So all of your songs and everything, as you create them, import them, as you make documents and things, and you name them and save them in here, everything will be in alphabetical order. So you see we have the song Do It Again displayed right now. If I'm going to a different song, the song Breakthrough, I can scroll down to the B's, find Breakthrough, click it, boom, there it is. By the way, this song has a million slides. Anyways, so it's just as simple as that. It's a matter of scrolling down, finding the song you want, Defender, Deep Cries Out, whatever, and it's all there. So now that is absolutely amazing, right? So if you do not want to have to scroll down through, if you're like me, you have hundreds of songs and documents and things. If you do not want to have to scroll down through all of that, you can simply come up here to the search bar, click in there, and you can simply type "do it again." Now, you see immediately, boom, it popped up right there. That is awesome, okay? So all you can do now, you can just click it, blah, 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 there's your song, and so on and so forth. Now, that makes it so much easier than having to go down to the D's and find "do it again" and do anything with it. It makes it, it's just more time consuming to do that when you can just come right up here, type "do it again," boom, there it is. Awesome. Now, if you need a song, say that you don't have in your library, well, if you notice right below this here, you have song select, and then you see "do it again," Lord, do it again, all the way down through here. Song select, if your church is not using song select, I highly recommend that you do. You have to pay for it. It's not a free service, but song select is a company that helps churches with copywriting for the songs, and it allows you to import songs, the lyrics and everything in, and then you can edit them after that, but you can import them in and things, and the cool thing about Song Select, you have access to basically every worship song ever. Song Select has like everything. If it's not in Song Select, I'm pretty surprised. There are a few times where I've had to make my own because it's not in Song Select, but for the most part, it's in there. But one of the cool things about it is that Song Select can attach to ProPresenter. So when you connect it and do all of the stuff that you have to do for that, now if you don't have the song in your library, it'll pull it up. And it's really cool because when it pulls it up here in Song Select, you just click it, it'll give you a view. You can scroll down through and make sure it's the right song, make sure the words are right and everything. And you can actually import it into your library from Song Select. So you click this plus button, it'll pull up this import window. And it has all this stuff, your size, whatever. You can select a template for your song if you have a certain template that you built, which I can get into that later in a different video. I'm not going to worry about that just yet today. But you can actually click edit and go in and edit the slides to an extent in a different window. And then you just click import, and it will literally just import it right into your library. I already have it, so I'm not going to do that today. However, that is awesome. So it makes life so easy. So, say your worship pastor comes to you and says, "Hey, we're doing this song this Sunday. Can we make sure we have that in there?" Well, if we don't have it in our library, it's just as simple as typing it in, letting it pop up on Song Select, and then you import it, and boom, you're done. Song Select is killer, and it's amazing that ProPresenter has allowed us to attach Song Select to that, and it just makes life so easy. So that is absolutely incredible. I'm so thankful for that. Thank you, ProPresenter, for doing that for us. So that is our library window. Like I said, any document at all is going to be in here, and it's very easy to find. It's very easy to work with. Now, below that, we have our playlist window. Okay. Now, playlist. The word playlist, I know you're probably thinking of like a song playlist on your iPhone, on your music, Apple Music, or something like that. It's not. It's kind of like that. It's not really the same. Basically, what a playlist is you have like your Sunday morning service. So it's a playlist of your services, basically. So Sunday AM, you can build your Sunday morning service right here. So all you do, as you can see, I have some stuff just randomly thrown in here. Of course, announcement slides, you see these little question marks because I don't have these images in my computer. But at my church, typically these are all filled with slides. And when it starts, they just, after 5 seconds, they go from one to another and they just rotate through. That's what we have playing before our service starts. But then you see the song, "I Know Who I Am." You see the song "Image," sample 3, whatever. It's not a song, that's an image. The next one is the song I Will Celebrate. Then you have a scripture. Then I'll Fly Away. This is just a bunch of stuff that I threw in here. So the cool thing is that you can navigate through that playlist, and as you click on everything, it's showing you that right here on your user window. Another cool thing is that if you are clicked in here, then up here on the user window, if your mouse is over that, you can use your scroll on your mouse and scroll right down through that whole playlist. So this is where the playlist really shines, because this is how you build your service out. So you build your entire service from opening to ending. Say you have your opening song, and then you have announcements, and then you have a slide for how to give if people want to know how to do text to give, things like that. Then you can go into more songs. Then you can have your pastor's sermon title slide. You can add scriptures in there for the message. All this different stuff. If you know it ahead of time, you can build it out and literally make Sunday morning just as easy as clicking the first one, and then you just go through and you're clicking and you're doing all of this stuff, and once you're done with that song, you go down to the next one and you do all this stuff. Man, it is great. The playlist is the playlist window is just, it's awesome. So the cool thing about this is that you can have as many playlists as you want. So you can have a playlist for Sunday morning, you can have one for Sunday night, you can have one for a Monday night revival service, Wednesday night, you can have one for your youth service, anything. You can have a playlist, and it's so cool because you can just build every service out and it doesn't interfere with the other services. So it's great. As you can see here, the National Day of Prayer, this year for National Day of Prayer, I led worship for a night of prayer and worship that night. And you can just kind of see, this is going to kind of show you what I did that night. So we started it out with the song How Great Is Our God, and we had the image right here, okay? This was my moving graphic. Which, by the way, I got this graphic for free. If you guys are interested in this graphic, I may be able to figure out where I got these from. I can't remember exactly where I got them from off the top of my head, but I may be able to figure out where I got them from and let you guys know. I got this. It's the same image, and I got it in multiple different colors. So it's a moving graphic, so some of the stars flicker and do different things, so it's really cool. But anyways, this is my background for the song. You click that, and then you can just start throwing the lyrics over that. And by the way, I didn't explain this earlier, but here's the output window. So this is what's going to your projectors, your TVs, your LED wall, whatever it is that you use. However your setup is, this is what you see out there. So if it's on here, it's on your projectors, screens, whatever. So you click through, you just follow, blah, blah, blah. Then you scroll down. I have the same background, so I'll just click that again. You don't have to. But then you have the next song. And you go through, blah, blah, blah. And then, I had a filler slide. So a filler slide, to me, it's the same background, but a filler slide to me is very, very good to use to kind of keep it looking professional. You can use a sermon title slide. You can use a picture of your pastor, maybe your church logo, whatever, as a filler slide. That way you're just not leaving lyrics up while somebody's talking or something like that. So, and as you can see, we went back into more songs, blah, 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 blah. So that's just kind of an overlook of that National Day of Prayer. So this is how awesome playlists can be, okay? So you can have all that. Now, the question is, how do we build that? Well, you can add a playlist. So you can click, you can do new document, new playlist, new group folder, all this different stuff. Just click new playlist, okay? It'll pop it up right there. Say I want to call this Wednesday night. So that's my Wednesday night service. So there it is. You can see it's empty. So I want to add, you know what? We're going to open up with Amazing Grace. My chains are gone. So I just clicked it, and I drag it, and I drop it. And boom, there it is. Now, I forgot. We want to have our announcement slides rolling at the front. So I click that, and I drag it in. And now here's the cool thing. Is you see the little blue line there. You can just drag and put it anywhere you want. Well, I want that at the beginning. Okay, cool. We go down here. We're going to do the song Chain Breaker. So I can decide where I want to put it, whatever. There we go. If I don't like that, it's just as simple as clicking it again and just moving it to wherever I want to. Okay. So It is so good to be able to just easily drag and drop things and move them around exactly how you want to. Looky here, we have a PowerPoint scripture, I believe. So I'll drag and drop that in. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so there's just some slides with scriptures on it from Ephesians 3. So that's cool. I have that in there now for when my pastor is going to read that. So it's just as simple as dragging and dropping it in there, guys, and you can move it around and do everything you want with it. And another cool thing is that even the playlist can be moved around. So, I'm not doing Wednesday night until Wednesday night, so I'm going to go ahead and drag that down to the bottom. Or maybe it is Wednesday today, and I'm going to use that tonight, so I'm going to drag it up to the top just because I want it there, and that's where it's going to be. So you can move that around. It is so simple. You literally can build your song, your playlist, your services, like in just a couple of seconds. I mean, it's just drag and drop, drag and drop. I mean, it is so easy. It makes your life very easy. So that is the great part, how you can implement the library and the playlist together to build your service, and it takes no time at all. So it's great. So we have the user window, the library, and the playlist. Now, over here to the right, this is where I was talking about earlier, where we have our images and our videos and things like that. This is what we call the video and image bin. If you want to access this, if you open up ProPresenter and you don't see this or whatever, the video and image bin is right up here on the top toolbar. So you click it, it'll take it off. You click it again, it'll bring it right back up. It's pretty cool. Now, this is, like I said, this is where your images, your pictures, your videos, and things like that are going to be stored. So stock, it will come with background and foreground folders right here. And stock, it'll also come with these images. You can see that I added all those colored images, those moving starry night images myself. So I added those in there, so now I've got those in there as backgrounds. Cool thing about it is that it doesn't have to be in a playlist or anything. You can simply click it while it's in here and it will go ahead and put it on the output. So that's really cool. If you ever just need to quickly get to an image or something that you forgot to add in, you just go over to that folder and you select it, and boom, there it is. It throws it right up on there. So that's great. Now, a lot of people don't understand what background and foreground means. So background is typically what we use as a background behind the slides for song lyrics. If you click a background, it throws it up on the output, but then you can put lyrics over the top of that. So a background literally is what can be the background behind something like lyrics or maybe scriptures, or something like that. So that's what we use a background for. But a foreground, when you click a foreground, it will actually clear the whole screen off. It'll kick everything out of the way, and it will keep it only itself on the screen. So, for instance, like a video. You don't want to click a video and have the lyrics over the top of that video. So a foreground will just kick all that off. It'll clear it, and then it'll put itself up on there. And that way you can't accidentally throw something over the top of it and it look weird. Okay? You can actually change an image to be a foreground. So like typically these backgrounds you wouldn't want to, but say you have a picture for like your block party or something that your church is going to be doing. You don't want to have, at the end of the song, have your lyrics showing here, and then you go and you click that block party image and it still keep the lyrics on it. You know what I mean? You don't want that. So if you take that and you right click on that image right here, you see set to foreground. Watch this. When I set it to foreground, now watch. So I'll put a background on there. We have lyrics, blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the song is over. Now it's time to click that slide. And look at there. It cleared off the lyrics. It cleared off the background. And it created itself to be the entire image, and nothing can be over the top of it. Quick little way to know if something is foreground or background. You see all of these have a little picture, a little image right here on the top left of each one of them. When I change this to foreground, look, it changed it to like a little video icon. So that's an easy way to know if something is set to a foreground or to a background. So that's the great thing about that. Now, in here, you can have as many folders as you want with images and videos and things. However you like to file your stuff, you can have all of that in there any way you want. It's really good. You can be as organized as you want or as messy as you want. If you're like me, I like to be very organized. So you can add folders. You can simply come in here and you can do a new playlist within this right here, and that will basically give you a new folder, and you can import different images into that or whatever. I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. So you can do that. But if you also noticed the group folder, you can put folders into groups. I don't typically use that, but if you have like 100 folders, then you can group them. That'll help you be more organized. But this one right here, new hot folder, I use this like religiously. I use this so much. What a hot folder is say you take all your background images that you have. If you don't want to put them in here, say you have all your background images that you have bought from all these different motion graphics and church media and all these different places where you can get backgrounds for worship and things. You take all those. So on your desktop, you just create a folder on your desktop. You name it whatever you want to name it. Backgrounds, worship backgrounds, whatever. You drag and you drop all of those files into that folder. Now, once you've done that, and it doesn't have to be on your desktop, it can be anywhere. But if you have it on your desktop, then you come here and you click that arrow, you come to new hot folder, it pulls up this to search through your computer. So you go to your desktop, say that's where I have it, and then I have backgrounds and graphics that I want to be as a hot folder. So what that means is that this folder, everything inside of this folder is going to be viewable from this video and image bin. So I click that, I click OK, now watch this. It's importing everything. Check this out. Just a couple of seconds. Now that folder, everything that is in that folder, and I mean everything. Check this out. There, this is my personal computer, but I use it at work. So you're going to see all kinds of church stuff from my church right here. By the way, tag church, Little Rock, best church there is. Anyways, so moving forward, so everything that's in there, like I said, you've seen all kinds of crazy stuff in here. But it's so cool because you can have a million different, folders that you have for different things. And when you do that, you can make it a hot folder. And it's so much easier because typically, like here in backgrounds, if I want to add a background to this background folder, I just make sure it's selected and then I click this plus and then I'll go and find the background wherever it is saved on my computer. I'll click it, I'll hit open, and it'll open it in here. That's okay, but anytime I download something or I make an image that I want to be a background or a picture or whatever, I will just simply take it to my desktop and drop it in my hot folder, and the next time I come in here and I open that up, it's there. So it just makes life so easy and so fast. Anytime my pastor sends me his sermon title slide for Sunday morning, I will just save it. I'll download it from the email, and then I'll literally drag it and drop it in my folder for sermon slides. And then I'll open that folder up, or I'll open up ProPresenter, and when I go to that file for those sermon slides, it's right there. And I just simply, at that point, I can simply take the image, I can click it, you see I just clicked it, I can bring it and drag it, and then I can drop it in my playlist wherever I want. It doesn't get any easier than that, guys. It's just as simple as dragging and dropping, and like I said, I didn't like it, we're there, I can move it around. It makes life so easy. This right here is where ProPresenter shines over everything else, because the ability to not only get to your stuff fast, but also before you even open ProPresenter, you can make it where you're easily accessing images and videos and things that you need to. Typically this is not this background's an image folder that I just made a hot folder for you guys to see. I don't use this for that. So this is a folder that has just a ton of images and just random junk that I have used. So typically what I advise you guys do is go to that folder, and when you don't need certain images anymore, keep the folders clean, because you don't want to have to be scrolling through all these hundreds of different photos and things like that. So Don't, always keep your folders clean. Plus, it helps your computer to run faster, and you can just do so much more with that. So, that is the video and image bin. So, we've covered the user window, we've covered the library over here, we've covered the playlist, and then we've covered the video and image bin. For the most part, that is the basics of what you're going to use to get going with ProPresenter. Honestly, these are the majority of what I'm still using today. Yes, there are some deeper things that I use, and in other videos I will go into deeper things if that's what you guys want. If you guys want to see that stuff, comment below and let me know. I will show you guys everything that I possibly can about ProPresenter. So that is the main overlook there. If you do decide to go with ProPresenter, use this video. This video will help you. Show this to your volunteers at your church and allow them to get an overview look at this. So those are just the general basics. There's a couple more things I want to cover before I get off here, and then I'll let you guys go. So you see up here at the toolbar, we had that video and image bin. That's how we turn that on. We also have what's called audio. You see audio? If I click that, you can actually import audio. Such as like songs and maybe voice recordings and things if you want, whatever you need. You just click the plus, you go find that file, you open it, and it'll open it up in here. It's really cool. You can actually, once you have audio in here, you can drag it over and drop it on a slide. And so during your service, when you click that slide, the computer will play that audio with that, if you have something that needs to be like that. I used that a year ago or so, maybe a little more. We had a kids revival, and there were characters that would come out, and every time the character came out, we had a picture of that character that would go up on the screens before he walked out, but then also this like theme music for when he walked out would play. So we would click it and it would show his image and start playing the music through the sound system, and then he would come walking out, and it was great. It was fun for the kids. It worked out really well. It was just a cool way to implement that audio feature. So if you guys would like to use that, it's very simple. It's like I said, it's just a matter of dragging and dropping it on a certain file. Now, if you ever drop audio on a slide and you want to take it off, all you do is on that slide, you just right click, you'll come to, you see remove cue, that starry night blue, that will remove that images. But when you have an audio on there as well, you won't see remove cue right here, because there will be multiple cues on this. Cues are kind of confusing, but it's basically just things that are on the slide, attached to the slide. There will be a little spot right here that says cues, and then you'll hover your mouse over it, there'll be an arrow that'll pop over, and then there you'll see remove cue starry night blue, and then you'll see remove cue in the title of your audio. You'll just click remove cue with the title of that song, and it'll remove that from the thing. So if you ever decide to do that, that's how you remove it once you're done with it. So we click audio again, get that off. Messages, I'm not going to go in depth with this right now, but typically messages is just something that can pop up on the screen. Just a quick little thing. I actually use it when our announcements roll before service starts. I use messages with a template that I created, and it says service will begin in 30 minutes. We have a 30-minute countdown that goes over the top of our announcement slides. So that's how that is. I'm not going to get really in depth with that. The only other thing I want to look at today is Bibles. So when we click Bibles, you see it pops up this new window over the top of the user window. So just always know that when you click Bibles, it's going to pull it up here, and anytime you want to get back to your user window, you'll just click this X and it'll bring you right back. So we open up Bibles. Now when you open up Bibles, there's this gear over here. This is our settings for the Bibles, okay? We come to Bibles, and you can purchase different versions, which my church has done, and you just install them, or there are a ton of free versions. So some of the free versions are like the American King James and American Standard, and like there's a bunch of them. Excuse me. Anyways, you can install all regular King James. That's free. You can install all of these if you want. So you have the access to that. So on slide options here, you can make it show the verse numbers. You can make it, which I would recommend this, break for a new verse, which means every verse has its own slide. You can have it display the translation. So watch, if I uncheck display translation, over here you'll see the NKJV go away. So watch. I uncheck it, and it updates, and it's not there anymore. I check it again, update, there it is again. So that just shows you can customize this however you want. Also, if you're like me and you want to create certain templates with fonts and different things, you can use a template. So you can just click here and you can go down all these different stock ones, or you see tag for Tag Church. I create templates on this computer. I don't have them, but my other computer in the sanctuary, I have a bunch of templates that I use for different things that I have created personally. I can show you guys how to create templates later on in another video. If you guys want to see how to do that, leave a comment down below and I will be sure to do that for you guys. So yeah, leave a comment and let me know. So once you're done with the settings, you just click out of there to make the setting gear go away. So we have the Bible. Now, that's a lot of slides, right? It's kind of small. Every window, you see one here in the video image bin, and up here, if I get out of Bibles, you see here, you see the same looking this deal here. If I come back to Bibles, because that's what we're working on right now, those are small slides, right? If I take this and I drag it to the right, look at there, it zooms in and makes it where I can work better with, I can see better with what I'm working with, okay? That's really cool. It's really handy. It helps you to, if you're like me and you can't see very well, you can drag that joker all the way over and it'll make them slides really big. You have to scroll a lot more through here to get to all your slides, but it's just all, you can personalize it to however you want it to be. So when it comes to picking scripture, there's this arrow, and you can go to the book. So say we go to Nehemiah, here's the chapters, and then it'll pull up the verses. So I can simply go to chapter 1 and verse 3. I click that and it'll open just that one verse, okay? Now I can go back to Nehemiah chapter 1. If I just click the chapter 1, it opens the whole chapter, okay? Or I can go back to Nehemiah, and instead of going to the chapters, I just click Nehemiah, and it opens up the whole book. You can scroll down through there. So typically you won't do this. That's a lot of scrolling and things. Most pastors aren't going to preach an entire book. Well, I say that. Some may. It depends on how long-winded they are. Anyways, so you can do it that way. What I like to do is I like to use this scripture lookup bar right here. So I will just click in there, and I know how to spell the majority of the books of the Bible off the top of my head. So, but you don't have to type them all the way out. So say my pastor says, let's go to Psalm 23, okay? I just type in PSA because I don't have to type the whole thing with this program. PSA, space, I'll do 23, and say he wants the 4th verse. I'll do a space again, and 4. Enter, boom. There it is. If you notice, it changed it. It put the colon in there for you, and it finished out the word Psalms. That's awesome how this program will do that for you. But if you don't want to do just a single verse, check this out. You can backspace it again, and he wants Psalm 23, the whole chapter, right? So PSA space 23, enter. Boom. There's all 6 verses of that whole chapter. It's as simple as that, guys. If I want to open up the whole book, instead of typing in PSA space 23, just do PSA or PSA and spell it out all the way, Psalms. Hit enter. I probably shouldn't have done the entire, the biggest book in the Bible. Anyways, you know what's going to happen. It's going to load and it's going to pull the entire book of Psalms up. Okay? So that is awesome how that works, right? So let's open up Genesis. Yeah, I don't want the whole book of Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, okay? So we've opened up Genesis chapter 1. Now check this out. If your pastor doesn't share his scriptures with you before the service, which a lot of times pastors don't do that, you can just simply use this window to follow him along and just go through and click and blah, blah, blah. So check this out. If I click this, it throws it up on the screens, right? And so on and so forth. So that works great if you're just following along, if you don't know ahead of time. But if you want to add this, say Genesis chapter 1, let's do chapter 1. Let's do verses 1 through 6, right? So I'm gonna hit enter. It pulls those up. Say, pastor let me know ahead of time this is going to be what he's preaching from Sunday morning. So how do we want to add this to either our library or to the playlist, right? So you see this little gear right here. You click this little arrow. We have save as document. If you save this as a document, it's going to pull up a window that lets you name it. And then when you click OK, it's going to drop that over here in alphabetical order inside the library. And then you can do whatever you want with that. And so if you do that, then that document will simply look identical to what you're seeing right here. Okay? That's cool. You have copy to current document. So I don't typically use this, but if you want to add this to a document that you're working on, if you have a document selected, you can click copy to current document, and boom, it'll drop that on that document at the end of the slides and add those 6 more slides on there. I don't typically use that. What I use the most is this right here, save to selected playlist. So you see, I have Amazing Grace, My Chains Are Gone selected on Wednesday night, right? Well, I have these 6 slides. If I come down here and I do save to selected playlist, watch right below Amazing Grace. Watch what happens. You see Genesis 1 through 6 pop up right there. Now, when I exit out of the Bible so that we can see the user window, when I come over here and I click that, there's Amazing Grace. Right below it, boom. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 6. It's simple. So when my pastor gives me all of his scriptures for a Sunday morning message, I will just simply click that one now, and I know the next scripture is going to be Genesis 2, 1 through 4. Then I'll come back to, I just need to make sure because it'll add it right below whatever you have selected. I'll come back to Bibles, right? When I do, I'm going to go Genesis 2, 1-4, 1 through 4, right? Enter. There they are. I'm going to here, save to selected playlist. Boom. It added it right there. It's as simple as that, guys. ProPresenter is so easy. So easy to make your services and do all this stuff. So, I hope this has helped you guys today. If you have any more questions, hey, leave a comment below. Ask all the questions that you can. I will be glad to help you guys, to show you guys more things in detail. If there's certain things you want to see, such as how to create templates, if there's things you want to see more in depth, like with the settings, which is called preferences, there's a lot of more in-depth things you can do with the preferences and things. If you want to see anything at all about ProPresenter, if you have questions, I don't know it all, but hey, I'll find an answer and I'll get it back to you as soon as I possibly can. Leave a comment down below, guys. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you involving ProPresenter 6. Thank you for watching this video today. I know it's been a terribly long video, but I hope that it helps you, your volunteers, and your church go to another level in your worship. I really hope it does. Like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know what I can do for you. Make sure that you guys hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a video. Hey guys, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you. I have been Josh with Behind the Scenes Worship. Thank you for everything. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day.